Purchased alongside hot crunchy curls and a quart of water as if it were a full course meal. Where is his mother? And where is his father? And why isn't anyone bothered by the way profanity spills from his lips like a pot left boiling? He's boiling inside because he can't play basketball and he can't rhyme, so he'll steal.
Good afternoon. We welcome you and we invite you to leave comments on these programs that we present every week. We need your support. We welcome your support. Today, we're going to get back to the 10 questions that I first posed when I first came upon this project. I've gotten a lot of responses as to the questions individually as opposed to them collectively. So what we're going to begin to do starting today is to begin to break these questions down and start a discussion which will bring about questions, which will bring about answers. The first 3 questions we're going to tackle today are pretty much interwoven and intertwined with one another because I think they're very much connected. I will explain how. The first questions will be question number 7, where are the parents of these young teenage girls who are getting pregnant? Where are the fathers? I called out fathers on one previous program. The mothers, which are, we know that it takes two to tango. There are fathers and there are mothers who are not giving the proper parental care to these young girls, to the point to where they think that the proper thing to do is to have tattoos all over their bodies, and once they have tattoos over their bodies, they need to change their clothing so the tattoos can be shown. And that's supposed to be hip and hot and what's happening now. But it leads to a certain perception of these young girls wherever they go. If they're in the schools, if they're in the job, if they're on the street, if they're just going to the store, someone is always looking at them in an uncaring light that puts them at danger or at risk for being pregnant. The other 2 questions that we will tackle this week are the number 4 question and the number 5 question. I put those 2 together because, once again, I think that they are entangled with one another. The number 4 questions is that can we blame the television programs that our children view for their promiscuous attitudes? The number 5 question is that is the music to blame for their promiscuous attitude and their lack of respect and their lack of just pure language in general? Well, I think these 2 things are interwoven. These 2 entities are in bed with one another, making money off of the dumbing down of our black children. Each generation seems to get more or less and less smarter or less and less common on practical thinking, to whereas the young boys think that to be hot and to be cool in the street and to get respect in the street, as a matter of fact, they have to have wheels on their car that spin that actually cost more than the car itself. Ludicrous. The young girls with the tattoos, with the earrings, young girls with the nails, with the pants. Now you got the young girls that are wearing pants that call it sagging, hanging down halfway off of their behind. It is disrespectful to their parents, which is what make me ask, where are the parents? Do they leave home like this? Do they wait till they get outside of the home and then change clothes? Or is it just acceptable all the way around because it is popular? Everything that is popular is not necessarily good. The number 4 and the number 5 question connects to one another like this. These 2 entities, the entertainment field, the television broadcast, are controlled by our government. They control what we see, what we view, how we see it, how long we see it. They're in bed with one another to make money. That's all they are about. They're not about morals. They're not about respect. They're not about bringing our generation of children to a high level of consciousness of themselves, because that's what I find is what's wrong more than anything else. They don't have a consciousness or awareness of themselves. And when you lose that, then you lose your faith in the Creator. When you lose your faith in the Creator, then you have no respect for the world that you're in. And the consequences of that are grave. Just the other night, we had several shootings in this city, Chicago, that we live in. And you may say that, well, it's a big city, so they get shootings all the time. And you may not know how bad it has become. Let me give you an example of how bad it has become. This other night when all of these shootings happened, I believe the statistics say there were like 20-something shootings within 24 hours. I think the number of the hours have gone down. It's maybe 10 hours. There were 20-something shootings. The police was investigating one shooting live on the news. And during the process of that investigation, when they were interviewing people, shots rang out on the very same block that the original shootings had come from. That is astonishing. It speaks volumes as to how much people care about the presence of our police. It speaks volumes about how much people care about shooting at or around one another. And what seems to get me a lot of times is that these so-called gangsters or ballers, as Sister Amanda once called them, they don't tend to know how to shoot at or get the person that they're shooting at. It's always an innocent bystander, a child, a person sitting in their home watching television, or someone just at the gas station just to get gas, that is always getting shot and being victimized by street violence. And the street violence really starts with the mentality of the people in the street. There is no respect. There is no joy in their hearts. They have no faith in anything but themselves. And most of the time that faith dwindles because they have no one to boost them up, to give them encouragement every day. They have no one to say, you can make it. You are special. They have no one to say that God made you an original. Don't let the world make you a copy. And when you wear the clothes, the baggy clothes, or wear the 4 or 5 earrings in your ear, or wear the big clothes, or drive the cars that seems to be what's happening on the streets now, you are becoming a carbon copy of what's wrong with our society, what's wrong with our generation of children that are constantly killing themselves. And as opposed to that, they don't have any respect for any form or mannerism of life. These questions that we're breaking down this week are all intertwined because the government departments that run the entertainment industry, the news industry, they're all in bed to make money. And it's all about making money for them, having more for them and less for us. You can tell the evidence of it when we go into our schools, how the less the equipment or the technology that we have that they're teaching our children with. They can only go just so far and then everything stops. Nevertheless, if you go out into a public suburban school, you see a lot more elaborate equipment, a lot more elaborate teaching, whereas the teachers are one-on-one and the classrooms are smaller. The books are more updated. Everything. The teachers are getting paid more even. It's important for us to realize that we can't lose the spirit of what the Creator put us here for. And it's all about having good common decency to your fellow man and respecting yourself, to whereas when you are in the presence of another person, they give you respect because your presence, your language, your dress, the way you handle your spirit demands that respect. And because you have that spirit, you have no problem in passing that respect on to the next person. We have a problem with this respect issue right now in our community. We have a problem with our children because they're losing faith. They're losing respect for themselves. And it manifests itself in the form of their language, the way they dress, what they watch, what they listen to, how they even dance, how they even walk down the street. It shows within themselves how much respect they have for the world that we live in. We will continue this series on breaking down these 10 questions. The next time we come, I'm sure we'll be concerned with questions 1 and 10. I'm going to hop around the list because I do feel all of them are entwined and interwoven. And as we begin to talk about these things, we will begin to come up with solutions. We encourage you to leave responses. We thank you for your time. I'm Brother Melvin. Until next time, peace